Hey y'all, it's me, Niecy Lynn. This is the 28th of August, 2025. This is Flosstube 290, which, wow, seems like a lot, but y'all been my friends for a long time now. I don't think I could give you up. I have questions and comments from last week. Evidently, we all agree that there should be no hats in church, no matter what church it is. Now, there are a few variances on eating places. Down here, mostly people leave their hat on inside a restaurant simply because there's no place to put it. Used to, there were the hooks you could hook it on, but those don't exist anymore, and restaurants are packed so tight, there's just no place to put your hat. So most people end up wearing them inside restaurants here. But inside the church house, the schoolhouse, the courthouse, we all seem to be of one mind that you need to take your hat off. If you're a guy. Sorry, y'all. The allergies still got me. And somebody asked, Carol, I have toyed with the idea of allergy shots. I'm just still a little afraid. When I worked at the doctor's office, there was an allergy specialist in town, and a lady died there. She just went into shock so fast they couldn't. And she'd been taking her shots for a while. So I always think about that. Can you just snot along and, not be dead? So I love that you were brave enough to go get them, but there's a part of me that's a little bit scared, just a little bit. Patty, I do take Allegra and I take Flonase, like nearly all the time. I end up on it all the time, which I hate. But then sometimes I still have to take a Benadryl. So mine are at the level that, yes, you probably should see an allergist. Carol is dead on because that's where we're at. And Kara says she wants a t-shirt that says, I'm not saying I'm right, I'm saying it gets on my nerves. It probably should be. I'm going to put that in cross stitch and see if Christy can get it done for it because it is true. It is true. And Sue said at her church, one of the kids even came all the way to the altar with the cap on to get communion. So I guess these days it is a whole other world. Janine, I did love my bag you sent me. I still love it. It's so cute. And Patty, your finishing is not horrible, but if you don't like it, if you'll send it to me, I'll redo whatever you don't want, whatever you don't like what you did. Patty can do anything on sewing machine. She don't like her finishing, not on sewing machine. I think her finishing is nice, but we're always our own worst critics. And Kim, Stitch West is amazing. If you get the chance to go, absolutely go. Y'all, this morning, and we've got a few more questions and comments too, but what we're gonna focus on are bags. We're gonna talk about bags, starting bags. I don't know where my stack of bags is. Y'all, I have a big stack of bags we're going to talk about. Hold, please. Where did I leave them? Oh, this is our new shirt for school this year. So cute. I did the bulletin board, the blackboard. Y'all, what did I do with that bag of bags? This is what I get for trying to rush. I set it down after I picked it up. Sorry. Good gravy. There have been lots of questions about bags. I have stitched numerous ones at this point. This is my StitchCon one. I'm toying with the idea of not putting the liner in it or not fully attaching it so that I can keep putting years. I may go back and, you know what I'm saying, and put 2025, like this on here. So I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. But this is one of the big bags. And I did it over one instead of over two. You're supposed to do it over two, I think. But this is the one in the cover photo is Easily Distracted by Kim Dow. I got so much done this week. I think I have this little square and then my words, Easily Distracted. And then I'm gonna line it. And we will talk about lining them also. I've done it. I know there are people who do it much nicer, but I will show you what I do. Now, if you do one of Kim's bags, see, she tells you that she stitched over one square using one strand. Over one square, sorry y'all, using one strand. Well, I could use this one. There. Over one square using one strand, and she tells you how far to come down on the bag. So on the big hexie bag, she says come down about 2.5 inches. I think I came down at about 3 because I wanted to clear my handles here. Because I'm thinking I may put a border, a tapestry, a piece of fabric border around my top when I line it. So I dropped down a little further. All the other bags don't specifically tell you. That's why we have this big stack of stuff here. Because we can, the one I'm probably fixing to start on is Thankful. And it tells you that it's stitched over 2. Oh, y'all, please don't cut off. I'm just gonna let this thing keep going. I don't know, I'm afraid to touch it. I don't have time to. Lord, if we get cut off, y'all, it's my fault. It says use one strand of the pearl cotton over 2. So to get this look here, you're using one strand of pearl cotton over 2. So you're gonna be stitching on these bags like linen, on the big bags. On the small bags, you stitch over 1, just like Ada. And y'all know I am an Ada lover. I've stitched on Ada for many years. I've just changed it up. I like the feel of the linen better. I still display my Ada pieces proudly. They are as beautiful as my linen piece. You see, there you go when you're not perfect. So, do not feel bad about stitching on Ada. There's nothing wrong with stitching on Ada. But the big bags, you're going to do like a crisscross. So you're going to do like a tic-tac-toe. Picture a tic-tac-toe or draw it on a piece of paper real quick in front of you. We'll just go here. So here's our tic-tac-toe grid. And when I do a cross, I start here. Here is 1. Can I write that backwards? Here's 2. And then, isn't that funny? And then here is 3. And then here is 4. I'm not sure if those are backwards or right ways. They're backwards, haha. Well, what, 1, 2, 3 isn't, 4 is. I'm not sure what happened to 4. Okay, but that's where you're gonna hit 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the big bags, you're gonna have to do like linen, like that. On the small bags, you're gonna go over 1. Let me grab one of them out here. Here's the little sheepy. On it, you go over 1, just like you were stitching on Ada. Now, I usually don't get the buttons. Y'all know I usually just use this pattern over here or whatever. Buttons make me nervous. Like they're gonna get caught on things and freak me out, all right? That's just my poor, poor brain. So on these bags, you will need to, and it gives you the stitch size, 30 by 75. So you know you're gonna be, what does this count on these bags? I do a middle start on these though, usually. That way I'm sure I'm okay. So on this guy here, I'm gonna start, I would fold my bag in half. This is not the right color bag. Sorry for the sound, folks. I would fold my bag in half, okay? And we know we're gonna be 30 high. So you can even count 30 from the center, 30 from the 15 from center. It's probably how I would do it, and see where that puts me starting. But you know, you're probably going to be probably about that tall. So figure out where you want it on your bag, count your squares, 15 up from your center after you fold it like this. And then count up over 2, so you're going to have to go up 30. See where you're at, and that's your center. And then count over. I would count over however many, it looks like 3, so maybe be 6 over to start the top of my K right here. Does that make any sense at all? It's super easy, y'all, I promise. And I'm fixing to try to turn this one wrong side out so you can see kind of where the inside looks like. So you can see how I run, how I put my stitches under. I do a pin stitch start on these. I just feel like it's more secure. And you can look up a pin stitch. I've shown a pin stitch before years ago. There's probably a basic stitches tutorial from 1933 on here that I did. And you can look at it and see a pin stitch. If not, I know there are tons of them out there. But it is a very secure start for something like this. And then what little tail I leave, I catch under the other stitches. So I feel like that makes it even more secure. I don't fret about it. I don't try to lay it flat under those stitches. I just go with it, right? Okay. Now. So this is the inside of our big hexie bag. I'm gonna move my coffee in case of danger. So here's the inside of our big hexie bag. And you can see there is a pin stitch here. And then I go. And then when I finish, I run my thread under. So you can probably start on any of these little sections and see where I've started and where I've stopped. I have the one square left here before I start my words. We may try to start and stitch it while we're sitting here. I use the sewing method. I'm not gonna try to poke on these bags because, for one thing, I don't like that method anyway. I don't do the poke and pull. That doesn't work for me. I don't think my stitches look as nice. I don't think my stitches lay as flat. So I like the sewing method whenever I can. You do lose a little bit of variegation. Now, if you go down and then, down and then turn and go up, down and turn and go up, you're doing one stitch at a time. I think Priscilla and Chelsea, that's the method they use. I do it sometimes. I don't like the fact that when I turn, I feel like it's not exactly the same. I'm pretty weird about my stitches, and I don't know why. Nobody sees them but me. But so if you really want to get every little bit out of that variegation, but if you do a couple of test grids, and I've test gridded it, and I think we talked about it on here. I showed it probably back 2020, 2021. I stitched some patches and showed, and I didn't know my hummingbirds are everywhere today. I didn't think there was that much difference, enough to make me fret over it. For this, I use a big needle. I don't know what it's called. It's one of the ones, I'll tell you how you can figure it out. It's one of it comes with the Bent Creek kits. So it probably says on there somewhere, or what kind of needle. I think I've had tapestry needles before that I've stitched pearl cottons with. And so I'm figuring this is something like that. It doesn't have a super sharp point. It has a point a little bit sharper than I like. I wish, I sometimes tell myself I'm gonna go like grind it down a little, flatten it off, but I haven't done that yet. But I really do like these. They work so well. But so you get your starting point and you just go. It is not hard. We're fixing to flip this guy wrong side out and see what color we need to have for the, what is it on the bottom? Some kind of, it's one of the blues. 031. So that one is gonna be, and I'm sorry for all the, that one's gonna be this one right here. And you can see I have them doubled over on here. That might be enough to finish it. So here's how they come off the skein. No, they don't. Sorry, I'm lying. I pulled it off the skein and I did it on my little thread winder thing and cut them. But they're pretty long because I like these in longer pieces. So then I just double it and then it goes through like this. So there we are. Now to thread these needles, I just loop the thread over there, and I think some of y'all maybe even do all your needles this way. And then it's between your fingers, and you're just gonna push, 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 push. And push it through, and then try to grab a hold of it. There you go. Which I'm in here with terrible light, so y'all forgive me for taking too long. So here's our threaded needle. This is a piece I had of that color. It's probably not gonna be long enough to finish this, but that's okay. Now we're gonna have to fight to get it backside out again. Which I think in the past I have folded the bottom in half and then poked through. This bag gets the workout before it even gets finished. Before it even carries anything. It's had a workout. It's hot in here today, or you know what, it's me, because the first time I've worn long pants all summer. I got long breeches on, it's killing me. I'm dying up in here. But I would like to look at least semi-decent at Meet the Teacher. So, and they don't like us to, we can wear shorts if they're like long shorts, which I don't wear short shorts. Listen, if you're at my age, if you're coming at me with anything like shorter than a 4-inch inseam, you can keep them. I'm not doing it. Now, a couple of years ago, yes, but this stage of my life, I'm like, you know what? I ain't got to fight them britches. Ain't nobody I need to impress. And I am all about my life being easy. And I ain't fighting that inseam. I ain't trying to make sure they're level, they're straight, they're, not gonna happen, Captain. So, if it's less than a 4-inch inseam, no way. So here we are here. And I'm gonna do the very start of my pin stitch. I don't think I can tilt y'all down where you can see me do it. Maybe, hold on. Oh, it's mad. I don't like that when I tilt it with the light on. I guess they ain't wanting you to get electrocuted. Well, rude. There we go. Like it's their business if I get electrocuted or not. But that's probably as far as we can go that way. So we're gonna have to do some finagling, kids. Because if I pull, let's see if you can get off here. Come on now. Stop it. Now y'all know how I talk to stray dogs in the yard. Get on out of here. Stop it now. Okay. That's what we always call my grandpa's stray dog voice. stray dog would come up in the yard or something, he'd say, get on out of here. Okay, so here we are. And we're gonna go here. And I know y'all can't see the individual little dots, but we will pull up out of here and then talk about what I've done. Okay. Okay, so see, there's the first half of the pin stitch done. And then we're gonna go right in here. So half of our cross is done in 2 steps. And that's the first part of your pin stitch. And you can see I'm pulling on that. It ain't going nowhere, right? And then I do go ahead and finish off my first X here. And see, you can see I've got the bag folded in half because it's big. On the other bags, you don't have to do that, but this one's big. So I fold it in half and fold in this corner, and my hand is inside the bag here to grab the needle and pull through. So there's our first X finished, right? Well, then for me to keep going, and you can put a piece of paper in here or something if you're nervous that you're gonna catch the back. Here's our chart. So if you're nervous you're gonna catch the back side, you can put something in there to be sure that you don't. And then here I go. 2, 3, 4, I don't know if I've ever done a stitch with me before. And now we're crossing back the other way. So see, I'm holding it like this. My hand's not inside the bag. You can. But for me, because I stitch in hand all the time, this is easier for me. And then you can double check. There's nothing, attached to the back side or anything. That piece of paper in there, your chart or piece of a cereal box or whatever, is keeping that from happening. And then we're just keeping on here. And this is my nighttime, late night TV watch. So like when we're watching something right before bedtime, this is usually, this is a great time for me to stitch on a bag or on my bent creeks because they're big and you don't have to worry about missing your spots so much, right? And I thought I could get, let's see, we may run out of thread, and if so, I'll have to tie off. So let's see. Let's see if we get to the bottom. Are we gonna run out of thread first? What else? I had talking to do. Y'all, here it is. Where we're at. Now, Charles, I am sorry you had a terrible week at work, and I'll check on that later. But y'all, this made me laugh so hard. He said when he was a kid, he thought candy corns was made out of melted crayons. Well, I could see that. I could see that. Kind of the texture's the same, and the look is definitely the same. So that's pretty funny, Charles. That made me laugh. And it did go in a bag to patty pan, so I don't mess it up like I did my Easter egg. I took my Easter egg apart and sent it to It May Be Beyond Salvation, though. Let's be honest. We are, so we're going to run out right about here, and then we're going to do a pin stitch here. Okay. So this is the last stitch that I'm okay with this little bit of thread, okay? So we're going to pin stitch stop it. So here is our last X right here. And we're going to go into the middle hang on, where we're at. I'm a liar. That we're gonna do one more X one, sorry. So that I can come out in the middle. There, I'm trying to show y'all. So I'm in the middle of the X. Can y'all see that? I'm in between its two little feet. And then we're gonna go up to the center, right there. Hope y'all can see that. And pull through. And then we're gonna go to the top center of that one. See where I pulled through in the top center of that leg? And we're gonna go to the very center of the stitch. So all that's hidden under, okay? And then I'm just gonna run this tail underneath, and then I'll show y'all before I cut it. Probably gotta take that out, it'd be easier at this point. So y'all can see that's the blue we just did here. And here's the little tail we're fixing to clip right there. And since I keep scissors on every project, I don't have to go look because I'm not at my stitchy place. So there we are, right there. So while we were sitting here, we just worked this X right here. So that was super easy, right? No worries. Okay, I'm trying to stand y'all back up. Close your eyes if you get seasick. We're back, woohoo. So, I think they're super, super easy. Like I said, Kim has several of these out now. I'll show some of them real quick. We'll call this the bag video. But I have loved every stitch of this. I have to do my little center here, and then there's one little black square in between each of these. So see, I've got to do this center, and then I've got to do the little black square here, this center, the little black square here, and then my words. I did switch this. I didn't want this to be yellow. I wanted it to be the red color. Y'all, this thing has got a thing in the corner. It's killing me. So I switched mine to the yellow. So you can see both the colors. This is the yellow that it's called for to be here. But I wanted mine to be louder at the top. I wanted it to be more defined start. So I just switched mine to the red here. I have just loved every stitch of this. It is so fun. Like I said, I'm going to talk about lining it. I am going to line it just because I think it looks more fun. And I don't like things getting caught in things. I find that very disturbing. Now, when I talked about lining these, I just went and found some fabric that I had. And cut it a little bit bigger. And since I wasn't going to display, I did not get my little board. But let's see if I have some pins here. I can make this kind of hold on for a minute. Y'all, I don't know why the light's doing weird things. You're not having many strokes. And I'm not either. Okay. Stop it, light. So I just cut it a little bit bigger. Okay. And then seam up the sides. This is with glue. I tried with glue to see if people who didn't sew, if the glue would work. The glue does work. I mean, it's sturdy. But it needs the little box corner. So, you know, for the box corner, you're just going to fold that in and sew across like there to make the little box. But you can look up how to make a box corner on the bottom of a bag easier than I can explain it right now. So then I just turn it. We're gonna pretend like I've done the box corners, okay, y'all? We're pretending here. We're doing all right. 25 minutes to 9. Okay, I'm doing all right. I have to be at school by 9:30. Brittany was sick yesterday, so we didn't get to do everything in our room. I tried to get everything done we needed to get done, right? But we haven't got to be in there together to finish up. We got ours a good start on it when we were watching the teachers' kids that day. So that was the new teachers. New teachers' kids were in there. So we got to get a ton of ours done. Like that. So you'll have to put your box corners on. We're just going to pretend like they are. And then, y'all, why did I turn it? Because it goes the other way. Patty, Dottie, I hear y'all out there trying to help me. And I know y'all are like, no, don't turn it. Because the ugly side's going to have to be to the out, right? The ugly side out, because you want your pretty side in. So I'm trying to keep my eye on the time and think about 50 things as always. And then you're going to have to fold your thing down and put it on the inside. And then just whip stitch down right about here. You don't want it close enough to catch anything in your zipper. But you're just gonna, people do, I think you could do it on the sewing machine. I just did mine by hand. But then your bag is lined. And you don't have to worry about any little things falling out or catching or anything like this. So, there's that. So another one I have to start is Henny Penny. So cute. So cute. Look at her. She's by Kim Dow. I think these are at the Fat Quarter Shop. I don't know if they're anywhere else yet or not, but I have the Lamb mini bag. I have Buzz mini bag. I have Peace. This is the one we did that was from Shepherd's Bush this summer. So cute. I loved it. They were so sweet too. Let's see what else is in here. Well, there's something that shouldn't be in there. Those shouldn't be in there. Well, of course, and the rest of my one aren't in here. Oh, Thankful. I have Thankful over here. Thankful is here. Of course, you can do the flag on the big bag over too, the one I just did the other day. But here is the jade green one for Thankful. I think they did it on khaki, excuse me. I don't remember what the jade green one is for. And these come in 2-packs from Fat Quarter Shop. So the 2-pack of the jade, I think they had them on a sale and I got them. And a 2-pack of the pumpkin. I think it's called, yeah, it's called pumpkin. And I don't know, the Thankful might end up on that one. Thankful may end up on that pumpkin colored bag. Just saying. For some reason, I must be doing something with the jade bags because I have 3 jade bags. And here is the olive. So they do have them in tons of colors. Here's the blue. And then my red is here. Here's the red. So they have numerous colors that you can pick from. Okay, I am still trying to keep my eye on the time. Debbie, kiss your roommate for me. Yes, I am trying to I am trying to get back to my fighting weight. I'm not doing very well, but I am making a little progress. So during COVID and when parents got sick, I really did just pack it on. And I got to get shut of it. My joints don't need that extra trauma. Shingle Spring Stitcher, are you going on the Alaska cruise with Jean Farish? Because if so, Patty Penn will be there. Patty, you've got to find her. If y'all are on the same thing. I know y'all love each other. Kim Vernon, this is my sad attempt at a lining the bag tutorial. But, oh, I forgot to say too. I hope that helps. And then after I had it hand sewed here, and you can look back and look at the ones I gave for my Stitch West gift. Then I just ran an outline stitch. I skipped, I think it was 3 or 4 long, and I skipped 3 or 4, and then skipped 3 or 4 with all 6 strands, just to kind of give it a little finished look around the top. I don't have the laptop in here, or the e-pad, as the kids used to call it, or I would show you. But Susa, Beth, Char, Stacy, I hope this helps some, if not, I mean, just a little bit. Kendra, mold in your lungs can be so dangerous. Brittany last year got so sick. She was, she bought a plant that was sick, she could tell. And when she brought it home and was gonna repot it and get all the old dirt off of it, it was all moldy dirt. And evidently she breathed that in. And I'm gonna tell you, she never got well. She coughed and had an inhaler, and I mean the whole 9 yards. It was terrible. I mean, she was so sick, so sick. So yes, that is so dangerous. You have to be so careful. Debbie, I can't wait to see you at Stitch West. Jenny, Lloyd had me cracking up, because kids do. They just pick you a name and that's what you get it. One of the new ladies on our team, we have 3 new ladies on our team, Sydney, Jenny, and her name's Rachel, but she also teaches Sunday school at the church, but it's her first year teaching at NABS. Call her Miss Rowe. And so even though her name is Rachel, they call her, for whatever reason, she got Miss Rowe, and she's Miss Rowe. So the Sunday school kids, she said that's when they started that, and it just stick. Kids they do what they do. And Allie, thank you for sending this. She's trying to get me on the 13 for the 250th. I'm trying to use this word that Nancy uses, and Nancy uses, and I'm like, somehow I missed part of it. So it's the semi-quincentennial. 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 This is how my brain works. I'll say it like this in a little rhyme kind of a thing, like a tone like semi-quincentennial. I don't guess that's a rhyme. What's that called, Dottie, in a music? I don't know. Dottie will get me right on it. I got to talk to Dottie for a second last night. And they were up in the mountains, so that was super fun. Oh my gosh, and her stitching friend, who I just blanked out. I'm so sorry, I can't remember your name. Oh my gosh. Of course, you know when it'll come to me, when I'm putting stuff up in my room in a few minutes. But, shares from last week. And then we have Happy Mail. So we'll talk about Happy Mail real quick, and that's how we'll do. This was a beautiful package from Danette, and she sent all these beautiful things. So we're gonna share some of these today. She sent, this is so sweet. I've never seen this before, and it is adorable. Thankful by Franny Ritter. Home of the Brave by Heart in Hand. This is hilarious. Getting Oldest for Sissies by Lizzie Kate. This crab is beautiful. It is Crab Dance by Tiny Modernist. Look at that thing. This is one of the Wee Santas. This is the 2019 Wee Santa. This is Prairie Fairy from Prairie Schooler. This one, 97. I don't think I have this one. I have one of the similar ones, but not this one. This is Where's the Party by Lizzie Kate. Am I in the right spot? Yeah. This is Listen by the Trilogy. And I think these were like, yeah, there were like 5 of these or something that went together. Isn't that cute? This is Heart and Hand Imprints, Berries and Blooms. And I love this Rennie McIntosh looking lettering here. Love that. This is Bittersweet Bird by Teresa Kogut. Look at that thing. Now I may have to stitch that right now. How did I not see that? Look for the beauty in everything. So cute. California by Thread Milk. Yeah. Sorry to say this looks like Thread Milk. It is. So she had a ninth state. She had a Statehood Splendor series. And here's California. And then here's Michigan. So cute. And I think one of the ladies, this is funny, one of the ladies, Jenny, lived in Michigan right before she came to us in Texas. And Ro, one of the other new ladies on our team, was born in California. Think about that. And this is Strawberry Fair by October House. Look at this sweet strawberry. Oh my gosh, so cute. And this is one of my favorite ladies. Y'all know I love me some Frida. Frida Kahlo. I love this. I love Frida. And this is Love, what's it? Love or More? Love by Shepherd's Bush. And let's look at this. This is 39 by 70. Hold on, let's find Thankful here. What has happened? Why are you stuck like that? It is 30 by 75. So you could stitch love on one of these bags. This would fit on the back of my red bag, say. Right there. So as long as, you just need to look at your stitch count and be sure, but this is so precious. But any of these would fit if they're, kind of within that range. This is Garden Gate by Carolyn Manning. This is so pretty. That's beautiful. And this is Imaginating, Diane Arthur's Blessing Sampler. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. This is so cute. And I guess she did a series. Okay, so there is Blessings, and then there is Faith, Spirit, and Peace. And those are so cute. And it is, let's see how big this thing is. 42 by 209. So I'm just saying, if you really wanted to knock it out of the park, you could stitch all 4 of these together. And it would be 209 tall by 164, 168, something like that. And y'all tell me that would not be stunning. Push those together and then add the one on the front. And tell me that would just not knock your socks off. That would be the most beautiful garden ever. But we're gonna share some of these this morning. So let's see here. Who will we pick? Let's do this one. This one. So spring, summer, Christmas, and okay, we're gonna grab these 4 real quick. And I need to write these words down or y'all know I will forget. We know me too well. Pen, where you at, pen? Okay, this one is sorry, y'all know I have to write it or I'll forget before I draw it next week. This is Shares by Franny Ritter. Use the word thankful and tell me what you're thankful for. I'm thankful for y'all, and I'm thankful for my team at school. Let's do heart and hand, the berries, and just use the word berries. Tell me if you like, I love strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries. I love all kind of berries, but I know some people don't. Tell me if you like berries or not, or what your favorite one is, because I'm always shocked that some people don't like berries, and I find that so odd. This one, let's see. This is the Lizzie Kate. Use the word party. How adorable is that? He is decked out for a party too. And then on this one is Bent Creek. And use the word beauty, because it says look for the beauty in everything. Okay. And then from the last 2 weeks, the shares are, and I'm just going to read off the names real quick. Glee Hansen, Jillian Johnson, 2290, Donalyn Mason, 2872, Kim Ramelli, 6171, and it's either Kimra Melly or Kim Ramelli. I'm not sure which one, Kim, I'm sorry. Lynn Ellis, 2448, Patricia Henry, 5355, Tracy Schroed, 9047, and Robin Taylor, 5352. And y'all, I think the most of one of these that was like 20 something. There weren't even 30 people. So, I mean, don't think your odds are going to be bad on this. Your odds are going to be good on this. So if those people will shoot me an email, NisiLynn at Yahoo, with your addresses, so I can get those in the mail. And I think I have 2 from last week that I heard one after I went to the mailbox. I think Marb and Beth Abishon. I will get y'all's in the mail tomorrow. I'm going to jump off of here and hurry to school. I'm going to let this upload while I'm at the school. So y'all and please subscribe and like the video and use the keyword if you're interested in the shares for next week. Y'all have a great week, a happy Friday, and enjoy your stitching. Bye.